I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Thursday, November 16th. An estimated 50 people participated in a rally in Quincy Center yesterday related to the war between Israel and Hamas. A group called Massachusetts Peace Action organized the rally on the Hancock Adams Common and marched to Congressman Stephen Lynch's office at the nearby Monroe Building, calling on Lynch to call for a ceasefire in the war. The group says they do not support Hamas, but are calling for a ceasefire in the war that is claiming the lives of civilians on both sides. Quincy police had a strong presence at the rally to ensure a peaceful event. No arrests were reported. The Quincy Planning Board has approved the construction of 2 new buildings on Bicknell Street in Germantown for affordable housing. Quincy Housing Authority will build the new complexes with 8 apartments in each of the 4-story buildings for a total of 16 new apartments. The buildings will go on vacant land in front of O'Brien Towers. The project is estimated to cost $5 million. The first floors of the new buildings will be handicapped accessible, but there will be no elevators in the new buildings because of the cost. The Quincy Housing Authority is in the process of purchasing all of the federal affordable housing projects in Quincy and has also created its own development corporation to create new affordable housing. The Quincy Police Department has been awarded a $60,000 state grant to help enforce traffic regulations. The money will be used to focus on impaired and distracted driving, speeding, and pedestrian and bicycle safety. During November, police will also increase traffic enforcement efforts, focusing on speed reduction in high pedestrian areas. Other news today, Karen Reed has won an appeal before the state's highest court, granting her access to phone records of one of the people her lawyers said is actually responsible for the death of her boyfriend. The justice from the Supreme Judicial Court gave Reed access to that person's phone records, but denied other requests. Reed is accused of hitting her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her car and leaving him to die in the snow. However, her lawyers argue one of the state's witnesses Googled how long to die in the cold hours before O'Keefe's body was found outside a home in Canton. Reed has pleaded not guilty to murder charges. A trial date has been set for March of 2024. State of Massachusetts is expanding financial aid programs that will benefit over 20,000 students in the Bay States, according to Governor Maura Healey. That expansion will help about 25,000 students attending the state's public community colleges, state universities, and the University of Massachusetts. With about $62 million in new program funding, the governor said the Mass Grant Plus expansion program will cover tuition, fees, books, and supply costs for Pell Grant-eligible students. It will also reduce out-of-pocket expenses for middle-income students by up to half. While the Mass Grant Plus expansion program will cover the full cost of tuition and fees for eligible students, room and board are not included. Students will also receive nearly $1,200 for books and supplies. The governor says the program will be retroactive to the start of the fall 2023 semester for students who are currently enrolled. Students who have yet to fill out the free application for Federal Student Aid or FAFSA application are encouraged to do so right away. Those who have completed their application don't have to do anything. Healey said the program will invest almost $61.7 million of additional state funding into public higher education students. The funding for the Mass Grant Plus expansion, she said, will come from the $84 million earmarked for financial aid expansion in the FY24 budget. The rest of the money will be used to implement Massachusetts' new tuition equity law that allows qualifying undocumented students who completed high school in the Commonwealth to access state financial aid. After more than a year, the historic Scituate Lighthouse is once again whole. Crews used a crane to hoist the lighthouse's newly restored lantern room to the top of the structure yesterday morning. The restoration is part of a larger restoration project at the lighthouse, which town administrator Jim Boudreau recently described as the iconic place in Scituate. Tower itself is 200 years old. Its lantern room was installed in the 1930s. Crews removed the lantern room in October of last year and spent the past year fixing it at a cost of more than $2 million. Several people in Scituate gathered yesterday to see the start of a new chapter in the lighthouse's history as its restored lantern room was installed. Community members said they're thrilled the lighthouse is back in all its glory. During the winter months, crews will be installing new windows and securing the rest of the copper on the lighthouse. In the spring, crews will then be able to add a fresh coat of paint to complete the current lighthouse restoration projects. A fire at a senior housing complex in Weymouth displaced 7 residents and temporarily shut down the Weymouth Senior Center yesterday. Firefighters responded to Union Towers 1 on Broad Street. 7 people were displaced. A temporary Red Cross shelter was set up at the senior center on Green Street. Programs and activities there were canceled as a result. The apartments at Union Towers 1 and 2 are designated for people 62 and older or for people 50 and older with a disability. Union Towers 2, about a mile away, was the site of what officials called an intentionally set fire. In 2018, that fire displaced 6 residents. The MBTA has retired the current My Charlie website for an updated and more accessible version. You can now register multiple Charlie cards, sign up for automatic payments, and protect your Charlie card balance on the new website. If you already have an account, or information will be transferred to the new site. Recurring monthly passes through My Charlie will be discounted, but the passes will still be valid for the rest of the month. If you want to use auto pay after November, you have to sign up on the new website. You will not be able to reload your cards through My Charlie. T is also expecting to introduce a lower fare if you use auto pay. Now, today is the Great American Smokeout, and here in Quincy, the Quincy Health Department will have a table with helpful information, support, and giveaways set up at Quincy City Hall from 9 to 11 this morning. Check of business news. Stocks are higher. The Dow is up 163. The Nasdaq rose 9. The S&P added 7. Asian stocks fell. The dollar rose. The euro is down. Oil at $75 a barrel. Sports: Celtics beat the Sixers 117 to 107. National Weather Service forecast today: mostly sunny at a high 59. Partly cloudy tonight, lows in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, highs in the mid-60s. Showers on Saturday, high 57. Sunny 49 on Sunday. For the boater, waves about 2 feet. West wind 5 to 10 knots, and a high tide right before 1 p.m. Sunrise 6:35, set at 4:21. I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Thursday, November 16th.